what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
I mean, it's alright, like...
What the f*** is this piece of sh**?
Hey everybody, Drew here, and it looks like all 3 hero specs for Death Knight are finally out, and I thought I'd give a quick review over how I think they're going to perform, mostly in RBGs. We're going to take a look at all 3, but I'm mainly focusing on Rider of the Apocalypse since I'm expecting that one to be the best in slot for RBGs and PvP in general. This hero tree is for Unholy and Frost spec, and it is not what I was expecting. Spending runes has a chance to summon one of the 4 horsemen for 10 seconds. Mograine casts a Death and Decay that follows him, Whitemane casts a Stacking Dot, Trollbane casts Chains of Ice, which also increases damage taken from you, and Nazgrim is just a strength increase. Having the 4 horsemen fight alongside you was cool in Torghast, but am I the only one who thinks summoning major lore characters in PvP is weird? I was expecting the Frost and Unholy tree to summon more minions to fight alongside you, but I was hoping it'd be something like a big zombie dragon. Or Raise Abomination. Oh, the rogues and druids we used to piss off together. Maybe someday, my love. Maybe someday. But the horsemen aren't the only reason why people are talking about this tree. It's also because of this choice node here. On a Pale Horse lets you mount your Acarus Death Charger in combat while outdoors. I'm assuming it's like a permanent divine steed that can only be used outdoors. I don't know about you guys, but I think some of the combat animations while mounted look weird. And according to this, the in-combat mount has to be your Acarus Death Charger, which is a shame because I'd much rather ride my invincible mount so that no one can see me. But I'm wondering if there's a catch to this talent. Can you get dismounted if you take too much damage or something? Does it function differently in PvP? Because if not, then this talent is going to be ridiculous, especially in RBGs. The other talent, Death Charge, turns your Death's Advance into a new ability that's basically if Divine Steed and Hand of Freedom had a baby that also makes you immune to knocks and forced movement effects. That one is also pretty good. Horseman's Aid lets your horseman cast a weaker AMS on you randomly, and Pact of the Apocalypse makes 5% of damage done to you redirected to the active horseman. I don't know how squishy the horsemen are going to be, and I'm wondering how often they would die in a team fight in RBGs, if at all, but regardless, I think Horseman's Aid is going to be more useful. For the other talents, we have Whitemane's Famine, which is just more dot stacking. Nazgrim's Strength buff gets stronger if you kill an enemy while he's active. I don't know if killing pets, minions, and totems count, but if it does, then that could also be good. Trollbane's Icy Fury lets you pop his Chains of Ice on the target for AoE damage that slows. Mograine's Might increases your damage while in Mograine's D&D. Hungering Thirst increases your disease, death coil, and frost strike damage. Mossworn Menace reduces the cooldown of Horn of Winter and Unholy Blight by 15 seconds and Death and Decay by 10 seconds. If that stacks with Defile, that turns it into a 10-second recharge timer. That's insane. If you've been following the current DK PvP meta, the Defile build has been the most popular and high-rated PvP. I'm not fond of this playstyle personally, but I run it anyway because it's the most effective build right now. There's a developer's note here that says they'd like to alleviate the pressure of staying in your Death and Decay, and by extension Defile, and they want to change how Cleaving Strikes functions. I don't know what that means, but we'll have to wait and see. Fury of the Horseman adds more sustain to your horsemen, while a Feast of Souls is more burst damage. And the final talent, Apocalypse Now, makes Army of the Dead and Frostroom's Fury summon all 4 horsemen for 20 seconds. That's pretty good and synergizes well with the Feast of Souls. Between Unholy and Frost, I think Rider of the Apocalypse complements Unholy more than Frost because of the multiple dot interactions with Whitemane and the Death and Decay buffs. The only thing Frost has over Unholy is that they can summon all 4 horsemen more frequently since Frostroom's Fury is a 1.5 minute cooldown, while Army of the Dead is 8 minutes. I know Army's cooldown shortens every time you use Death Coil, but still. You know what spell used to be a 1.5 minutes? Raise Abomination. Please just make Army of the Dead and Raise Abomination a choice node, Blizzard. I'm just going to briefly go over the other 2 hero trees since they're not that impressive in comparison to Rider of the Apocalypse. For Blood and Unholy, there's the Sand Lane hero tree, which centers around Vampiric Strike. When procced, it replaces Scourge Strike and Hard Strike, and it gives you haste and health. Not bad, but I think the coolest part of this tree is that it summons Blood Beast like Deathbringer Saurfang from ICC. For the other talents, you got some movement speed buffs, a Death and Decay buff, and some defensive buffs, but I don't think any of these are as good as the buffs from the Rider tree. The final talent makes Vampiric Blood and Dark Transformation give you Vampiric Strike for the whole duration. If this hero tree sees any play, we could see some Dark Transformation talents make a comeback, but as it is, I don't think this tree is going to see much play. The last hero tree is for Blood and Frost DK, and it's Deathbringer, which I think is weird because the Blood Beasts that Deathbringer Saurfang has is in the Sand Lane tree, and whatever. Deathbringer gives you an active ability with a 1-minute cooldown, or 30 seconds if you take this talent, Reaper's Mark, which makes a stacking debuff that explodes. It can travel to other enemies, and there's Shadow Frost damage here and there. Nothing in this tree really stands out to me, except AMS reducing enemy cast speed slightly, which still isn't as good as the defensives in the Rider tree. Unless the damage output of Deathbringer is absolutely insane, I doubt it's going to see the light of day in PvP. Out of all the hero specs, I think Rider of the Apocalypse is the clear winner and has the most utility for RBGs. And if there are no significant changes by the time the War Within goes live, I think Frost is still going to be obsolete and Unholy is going to be top dog again. If On a Pale Horse functions like I'm assuming it will, I think it's too overpowered. I'm not sure if it should go live, and that's coming from a DK main. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's too overpowered? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. You can also hang out with me on Twitch and follow me on social media. Hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Take care.